Hi. So, Kevin Feige won an award. I didn't bother finding out what kind of award what it was, but I'll leave a link to there. But what I gather is for 10 years that he did Marvel movies. Now, don't get me wrong, that's an accomplishment. In my view, it's 10 movies of the same one, 10 movies that are far from Oscar worthy or talking about. It's basically 10 years of a TV series ending with a season finale. But apart from that, don't get me wrong, right? To accomplish, in my view, to get these films out, and for these bad films to make money is a good thing. It's really, they all feel the same, but it's definitely an accomplishment. And it's sad that the fact that Warner Brothers had a chance, but money and greed got the better of their artistic endeavours. People are still talking about BVS, Man of Steel just now. They're all coming to grips with how wrong they were by putting them down, because it's still talking about them. Nobody talks about Iron Man or Captain America or anything like that. They don't talk about these films. One critic, who I said in my last video, reviewed Bohemian Rhapsody and said, we shouldn't listen to critics, because they don't speak for you, they speak for themselves, and if everyone listened to critics, then a lot of movies wouldn't get made. But he'd go in and say, well, we were right about Black Panther. And I'm thinking, Black Panther? Who talks about it? Seriously, who talks about Black Panther? Right? I don't get it. So if Kevin Feige can win an award, then Warner Brothers should have been. They should have been really at least halfway where Marvel is just now. Because I don't know. They've had so many chances. They've had so many, and now they're mucking about, and now they're getting directors. And they still have a chance. They're getting so-called directors in, like Steven Spielberg. I don't mean so-called director as in Steven Spielberg, but that's still to be proven that he's on board to make the Black Hawks movie. Because let's be honest, we were promised so many things, and so many movies, and we've ended up with some films that weren't in the pipeline this time last year. We weren't even thought about doing it, because we had a whole different timeline. So it's frustrating. It really is, because Jeff Johns, okay, he could have probably done it, but then again, there's evidence to state that he likes the sunshine of our love kind of version. He loves the Super Friends, which I kind of sort of disagree, because he writes some great stories, and he writes some dark stories, and I think he was just too busy trying to live up to his friend Kevin Feige in order to go out on his own and do something different. Kevin Feige isn't original. He just said in his in the speech, you will see, in every interview that he does, he draws inspiration from other movies. So most of the movies, and I think if you YouTube them, and every movie that gets talked about from Marvel, he says, oh, we looked at this 1980s movie here, and we looked at this 1980s movie here, and 10 years, well, we'll soon be like the James Bond. We're now faced with adverts that says, buy the latest Marvel toy, buy Marvel Universe, or Lego, or PS4. They never say DC. DC is like non-existent right now, especially when it comes to toys or marketing or anything like that. Marvel Universe is definitely a brand. It is big. It doesn't help though that it's tied in with Disney, so when Disney advertise Star Wars toys, they will advertise Marvel toys. But DC is nothing. DC, you don't sit in the radio. I don't hear in the radio, buy the latest Christmas toys of DC Toys, right? Don't hear any of that. Don't hear. And that's sad. It's sad that DCU isn't even a market. Maybe after Aquaman and Shazam, things will change and there'll be something to hold on to. But we should have had that long ago. We should have had that long ago. Netflix has just released BVS. I think I may have mentioned it in my other videos. So BVS is on Netflix in the UK. And sad enough, it's not the Ultimate Edition. And I wish they just got rid of the cinematic version. Because let's face it doesn't matter what kind of film is out there. You want. I hate the fact that there's about 3-4 different versions of any movie. Right? I believe that they should just stick to the one. Right? So they've got to choose between Ultimate or BVS if they were going to sell it to places like Netflix or TV channels or anything like that. So everyone gets to see, because not everyone buys DVDs. So, and the reason why I brought this up, a guy came over to me in my work one day and hadn't seen BVS, but because it was on Netflix, he watched it. And then one of the questions was, what was that stuff in what movie was it that was before that? And this is where that was Man of Steel. So what happens that? And exactly, so he wasn't interested in it. And I says, oh, I wish you never watched that. I wish you watched BVS Ultimate, because it gives you that much more. And this is why it's frustrating. One of the many reasons why it's frustrating to be a fan, because you want the world to see it the way you see it. Because really fans are the only ones. Comic geeks are the only ones that will go out and get sort of BVS, the Ultimate Edition, or even heard of its existence. So I do hope, and maybe we should start a petition to get the Ultimate Edition on Netflix, so we can bring in a new generation of fans to what we deem to be one of the most the best ever superhero movie film ever. BVS, and I stood there and I talked to him about the changes and about the Zack Snyder cut, and I sort of tried to explain it, because after all he'd only seen the shortened version of it, and I told him why this was cut, and Justice League was cut and a new director was brought in, and it becomes sad, because I shouldn't have to worry what somebody thinks about Justice League, because we all know that Justice League was a fine film, but for all of us in the know, we know it's something. It could have been something much more, something much better, but sadly, majority of people will take one viewing of a film and then that's it. If some other cut comes out, majority of people will say, I don't know, I've seen it before. So that's why I'm always, we should petition for, you know, if, for the extended cut all the time and get rid of the past. Don't bother reprinting the old one. Then again, some people say about Star Wars, the original versions of Star Wars, people are fans of that. So who am I? Who am I? But again, the extended cut of Star Wars was George Lucas's vision. After all, Zack Snyder extended vision for BVS was his movie. So that is the film he originally wanted to be out. Same as probably Star Wars extended version, but he didn't have the technology he had just now. And a director once said that a film is never finished. It's, and you just go back on and you tweak it and stuff. It's just, I just wish it wasn't so. And I just wish this time next year that maybe we can have some sort of hero in the DCU where we can think of he's going to get an award just like Kevin Feige, because this guy has brought DC movies to everyone. This guy is responsible for 10 other movies for the DC franchise that was for some time thought it was a non-starter. That's what I want. I want somebody on the Oscars or the BAFTAs accept an award for their commitment to DC films. Let us know what you think in the comments.